Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hi everyone. I am Nursilawati binti Jaminam from Mechanical Engineering Department, Polytechnic Muazzam Shah as a lecturer for DJJ 20053 Electrical Technology course. Would like to share about basic knowledge of resistance. At the end of this video, everyone should be able to understand and describe about resistor and the factors that affect the resistance. Think about your school break time. All students are outside of your classroom on the ground sitting in group and relaxing. Some of you will be moving around from group to group as you greet your friend. Suddenly, the school bell rings, signaling the end of break time. All of students get up and start moving toward the school building. You are all able to move easily because there is a big space. But what happens when you enter the corridor of the school building? Everyone now has to fit through a narrow corridor or narrow staircase. Everyone is trying to get into the class and some students will bump into each other. As you try to enter your classroom, it will become more difficult because the doorway is even narrower than the corridor. So, only one or two students can pass through the door at a time. This movement of students is very similar to the movement of electron in electrical conductor. The ground offers a very low resistance to the movement of student, so the student able to move. The corridor has the higher resistance to the movement of the student because less student can now pass through the door. The classroom doorway offers the higher resistance as they only pass only one or two students. Do you know what resistance is? In electrical circuit, resistance is an opposition to the passage of an electrical current. In other words, resistance is a measure of opposition to current flow in an electrical circuit. Resistance is measured in ohm, symbolized by the Greek letter omega. Ohm are named after Georg Simon Ohm, a German physicist who studied in relationship between voltage, current and resistance. A resistor is a passive two-terminal electrical component that implements electrical resistance in electrical circuit. The function of resistor are used to reduce current flow, adjust signal level, to divide voltage and etc. Do you know there are several factors that affect the value of resistance? There is 4 factors that affect the value of resistance. The first one is resistivity of the material or nature of material. The higher number of free electrons in material, mostly wire, offer less resistance to the flow of current, while the lower number of free electrons in the material offer higher resistance of current flow. Secondly is the cross-sectional area of a wire. Thick wire will have smaller resistance than a thin wire. Imagine a wider rod and narrower rod. The third is the length of wire. A short wire will have smaller resistance than a long wire. The last factor which affects resistance is temperature of the conductor. The hotter the resistor becomes, the more resistant it has. The atom of conductor vibrate much faster when are hot due to increase of kinetic energy. That makes it difficult to electrical current to move through. Cold resistor offer less resistance to the circuit. From all these factors, the value of resistance of the material can calculate using this formula. That's all for now. Thank you.